On September 3, 2021, the premiere of the movie Spencer took place, telling the story of the complex and tragic fate of Princess Diana. This event only underscored the ongoing popularity of Lady Di and humanity's enduring interest in her life. Today's episode is dedicated to this legendary figure. Watch this video until the end, and you'll discover unexpected details from Princess Diana's life and shocking theories about her death. So let's get started.
News, copyright.
Would be broken up in the open field.
Princess Diana, Queen of Hearts, style icon, legendary woman, yet also the most unfortunate princess, a person with serious psychological issues and a student barely coping with her school curriculum. Who was the Princess of Wales? It has been over 25 years since that tragic date when Princess Diana died under mysterious circumstances. Millions of people around the world were shocked by her sudden death. The circumstances of this event continue to raise more questions than answers. Let's try together to understand who Lady Di was for the world, her husband, and the royal family, delve into the mysteries and secrets of her life and death. So let's go over some facts you probably didn't know. A dumbass? Diana Spencer was a poor student. Until the age of 9, the future princess was homeschooled. Then she was sent to a closed school where Diana found everything burdensome, from studies to her classmates. She failed her exams for a general education certificate twice. However, in sports, Diana excelled. She achieved particular success in swimming and diving. She also enjoyed dancing and dreamed of a career as a ballerina, but she was considered too tall for it. At the age of 16, she was transferred to a school in Switzerland, but things didn't go well there either. In Switzerland, she only attended for one semester. Despite her lack of education, it didn't stop her from becoming the Queen of Hearts, but it greatly complicated her already difficult relationship with Prince Charles and the entire royal family. Nanny, cleaner, waitress? Before becoming the Princess of Wales, Diana managed to work as a nanny, a dance school teacher, and an assistant teacher in a kindergarten. She held this job until her engagement to Charles. She also earned money by helping with house cleaning and worked as a waitress at parties. Why is this interesting? Because before Diana, no royal bride had ever worked like ordinary people. By the way, did you know that Diana always had a sweet tooth and adored ice cream and other desserts? According to her chef, her favorite was bread and butter pudding, a traditional English dish made from buttered slices of bread soaked in a custard made with eggs and milk. Marriage. Diana met Charles when she was 16 years old. At that time, he was dating her older sister, Sarah. 3 years later, after meeting the grown-up Diana, Charles began to consider marrying the younger Spencer. Sarah herself later joked that she became the couple's Cupid. Diana and Charles's wedding took place on July 29, 1981, at St. Paul's Cathedral. The ceremony was attended by 3,500 guests and, without exaggeration, the entire United Kingdom glued to their televisions. The wedding was memorable for many reasons. Let's name two. First, the bride, out of nervousness, mixed up the order of Prince Charles's names. Instead of calling him Charles Philip Arthur George, she put Philip's name forward. Perhaps at that moment the Duke of Edinburgh Philip chuckled inwardly, but we can't be sure. More interestingly, while reciting her vows at the altar, Diana omitted the word obey. Another centuries-old tradition crumbled. Did you know that the prince and princess were actually cousins? Their family ties date back to the time of Henri VII, the first British monarch from the Tudor dynasty. However, among noble families, this is quite common. Infidelities and Scandals. 5 years after their wedding, Diana and Charles's marriage finally cracked. Charles resumed his relationship with his lifelong love, Camilla Parker Bowles, while Diana had a romance with her former horse riding instructor from the royal family. Rumors swirled about affairs with bodyguards, athletes, businessmen, and who knows who else. Although many rumors were never confirmed, suspicions lingered that one of Diana's lovers, James Hewitt, was actually the father of Prince Harry. Both men remarkably shared the same hair color, fiery red. Charity and courage. Diana is renowned for her active involvement in charity work. In April 1987, a photo of the princess shaking hands with an HIV-infected individual without gloves circulated in the media. At that time, very little was known about HIV and AIDS, and not everyone would dare touch a patient without gloves. Diana, however, was not like everyone else. With her action, she clarified to people that being HIV positive did not mean being cursed or ostracized from society. Additionally, the princess opened the first HIV/AIDS unit in Britain at the Middlesex Hospital in London and organized charitable events to raise funds for combating this disease. On January 15, 1997, Princess Diana walked through a minefield in Angola. The Princess of Wales, wearing a protective flak jacket and a face shield, visited a minefield cleared by the Halo Trust charity in Huambo, Angola. Diana did this to draw attention to the heavy burden borne by people maimed by landmines and to advocate for a ban on the use of this weapon. Tragedy. On August 31, 1997, around midnight, a Mercedes car left the Ritz Hotel in Paris and shortly crashed in the tunnel under the Alma Bridge, less than 1.5 kilometers from the Eiffel Tower. In the car were Princess Diana, her boyfriend Dodi Al-Fayed, their driver Henri Paul, and bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones. As a result of the accident, everyone except Rees-Jones died. He was the only one who was wearing a seatbelt in the car. A week later, on September 6, 1997, Diana's funeral took place at Westminster Abbey. According to CNN, about 2.5 billion people worldwide watched the ceremony. Diana is buried on the estate of her family, Althorpe, in Northamptonshire. Investigation. The investigation into the cause of the accident lasted nearly 10 years. In December 2006, after the conclusion of the inquiry into the death of Princess Diana, known as Operation Paget, the British police published a report stating that the Princess of Wales died as a result of a tragic accident. The accident was caused by the driver Henri Paul, who was behind the wheel while under the influence of alcohol, exacerbated by the effects of antidepressants. However, there have been numerous theories about how and why Princess Diana actually died. Versions. For the past 27 years, paparazzi have been blamed for the death of Princess Diana as they chased her car in Paris, although the investigation proved that the photographers did not break any rules or create a dangerous situation. However, for enthusiasts of conspiracy theories, there are more tantalizing versions, such as Diana's pregnancy or the inaction of doctors. With the assistance of the Daily Express newspaper and under pressure from Egyptian billionaire Mohammed Al-Fayed, the father of the deceased Dodi, the police were forced to investigate 175 theories about what happened that night. Let's explore some of the most intriguing ones. Was Diana murdered by the authorities? Many conspiracy theories arose from Princess Diana's belief that someone wanted to kill her. As evidence, a letter was made public, which Lady Di entrusted to her butler, Paul Burrell. In the letter, she wrote,
October? I sit here at my desk today and wish someone would hug me and encourage me so that I don't lose heart and hold my head high. This particular stage of my life is the most dangerous. There is a plot to cause an accident in my car, brake failure, and serious head injury. This will pave the way for Charles's marriage.
Diana was genuinely concerned about her safety, especially regarding the condition of her vehicles, as her car was not always in working order. Shortly before writing the letter, the princess's bodyguard died in an accident, which she believed was orchestrated by the British authorities. Also noteworthy was the silence of the royal family representatives in the days following the princess's death. It was only the rising anger and outrage of the public that prompted Queen Elizabeth to make a brief statement. Paul Burrell, the former butler, agrees with the theory of a conspiracy against Diana and Dodi involving intelligence services and the royal court. He stated,
Her death was brilliantly organized. It's a signature British style. Our intelligence always cleans up people not with poison or a sniper, but in a way that looks like an accident.
Similar opinions are held by employees of intelligence services themselves, such as the notoriously known former officer of the British MI6 counterintelligence service, Richard Tomlinson. He was arrested twice for disclosing classified information in his books about British intelligence, left Britain and now lives in France. Tomlinson openly stated that Diana was killed by MI6 agents as part of a mirror plan for an accidental car crash that was prepared 15 years ago for Serbian President Slobodan Milosevic. Was Diana pregnant? Dodi Al-Fayed's father, businessman Mohammed Al-Fayed, was convinced that Princess Diana was pregnant with his son, but the British authorities could not allow such a turn of events. The Independent quotes Mohammed Al-Fayed as saying,
The royal family couldn't accept that a Muslim Egyptian could become the stepfather of the future King of England.
Talks of Diana's possible pregnancy surfaced a few weeks before her death during her vacation with her boyfriend in France. After the autopsy, pregnancy was not confirmed, which was also evidenced by blood tests. The basis of the new documentary series Investigating Diana, Death in Paris, which aired on the British Channel 4 on the eve of the 25th anniversary of the princess's death, revolves around the theory that the car crash was allegedly caused by a white Fiat Uno. It was believed to have cut off the car carrying Diana, causing it to crash into a pillar and flip over. According to French investigators, witnesses that night noticed a white Fiat Uno exiting the tunnel with its driver focused on the rearview mirrors. Subsequently, traces of white paint were found on the damaged Mercedes. Fabrice Cuvelier, a representative of the Parisian Criminal Brigade, claimed that the Fiat Uno did exist in the evidence and was not a police fabrication to divert attention. To my mind, the only door left open is the testimony of the Fiat Uno driver, his colleague Eric Jacques said, as reported by Sky News. As a result of the investigation, it was revealed that the owner of the car was French photographer James Andenson, who had photographed Princess Diana and Dodi Al-Fayed shortly before their deaths. He was found to have no involvement in the tragedy, but died under mysterious circumstances a year later, officially ruled as suicide. Was driver Henri Paul guilty? According to proponents of conspiracy theories, driver Henri Paul was not only the head of security at the Ritz Hotel in Paris, but also conspired with secret services from France, Britain, or both countries. According to their version, Paul intentionally caused the accident and was not drunk at the time of the collision. Information about his intoxicated state was supposedly deliberately spread by the media to cover up the murder, and another person's body was allegedly substituted for his at the accident site. Many consider this version plausible because Paul did not appear drunk when leaving the Ritz Hotel in the company of Diana, Al-Fayed, and their bodyguard. Moreover, there was much more money in his accounts than the police expected. The only surviving participant in the car crash in Paris, Diana and Dodi's bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones, stated,
Henri Paul was not drunk that evening. There was no smell of alcohol from him. He was communicating and walking normally. He didn't drink anything at the table. I don't know where the alcohol in his blood came from after his death. Unfortunately, I cannot explain why I was wearing a seatbelt in the car, and Diana and Dodi were not. I have brain damage. I suffer from partial memory loss. My memories end at the moment we left the Ritz Hotel.
Did doctors allow Diana to die? Supporters of this theory are convinced that if Princess Diana had been taken to the hospital immediately instead of receiving first aid at the scene, she could have survived. However, in France, ambulance crews are required by regulations to provide maximum assistance to the injured at the scene of the incident, while in the UK, efforts are made to transport the person to a medical facility more quickly. Moreover, it is impossible to say whether Diana would have survived if she had been taken to the hospital immediately. In any case, doctors stated that the injuries she sustained were incompatible with life. Diana was still alive after the accident, but was in critical condition. According to British media reports, she suffered a concussion, a broken arm, and extensive chest injuries. The princess was taken to the Pitié-Salpêtrière hospital, where doctors performed a 2-hour operation, but she never regained consciousness. She died from internal bleeding at 4:53 a.m. on August 31, 1997. In reflecting on the tumultuous life and tragic demise of Princess Diana, we are confronted not only with the enigmatic circumstances surrounding her death, but also with the profound impact she left on the world. Each perspective offers a glimpse into the intricate web of events that culminated in that fateful night in Paris. Yet, amidst the controversies and conspiracies, Diana's legacy endures. She was more than a princess. She was a beacon of compassion, courage, and resilience. As we honor her memory, may we strive to emulate her compassion, her bravery, and her unwavering pursuit of justice. For in the end, it is not the circumstances of her death that define her, but the indelible mark she left on the hearts of humanity. That's all the facts for today. We'll get back to you in a couple days with a new dizzying investigation. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to always be aware of the most mysterious and amazing events of civilization.